So happy. But this only added to insanity. And in December, I got a phone call from campus PD telling me to come down to the station. I just didn't really notice. It was $90. Officer was trying to be professional, but I could tell he was like, later I get talking to him saying, I'm thinking she's going to try to bury the hatchet. Turns out her was not Max. Stalking me. If you don't stop, I'll be forced to take legal action. At first, I mean, really neutral, saying, I'm not stalking you or harassing you. I don't care what you do. But she is adamant, saying, you're not making this up. Are you crazy? No. So listen, I'm not calling crazy, but one of the cops on Valentine's Day, you see, building the girl is, Right. Then she starts threatening my career, saying, you know, if I file charges against you, you'll never be back. That's when my brain snapped to sarcasm mode. I'm like, damn, girl, I think 6.5 inches was not to lose your mind over. Yet, here we are. Now, I got it, but you have to find your plan. Okay, sure. And guys, to this day, I have never seen someone's. She couldn't even first. She just sat there shaking. I knew this time of day. About a month later, I get a call from my friend Laura, who just so happens to be Andy's roommate. Laura invites me to her place, and I'm like, track. She's like, no, Andy's gone for the week. She's with me. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I'll go over and hang out for a bit. And she casually mentions, not for your schedule when Andy says, I'm like, what's here? This is your schedule, right? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, holy shit. Go to my place. And Laura's like, what are you talking about? I said, because one day I came home and the kitchen window was open. I go to my roommate and I'm like, Jake, why do you open the kitchen window? They're like, because it's closed. I didn't open it. Everyone here, it's not like we got robbed. We're acting on some TV. Someone did break in. And the same day, my phone was missing. That's when Laura says, also, I probably should have told this to you, but what affects my aunt gets me? When my aunt bent over by a car. I asked what he was doing, but she was like that. I'm like, damn, I'm a kid on a car. Now, what the lady, you know, that we want to interact all behind me. That was until about a year ago when I told my favorite. Pretty sure I know. But I shouldn't tell you this, but you know, it just yeah. And actually, I was really passionate. Great. Take the friend, you can't take the family. The DNA and the stalker to my cousin. I'm not inviting him to the wedding. So stop with this family comes first nonsense. Because what if the horrible day is beautiful? Sister steals money. Walks Paw Patrol with his hands up. I told you to. All that terrible thing. My that person is me. So here's the story of how I ruined Thanksgiving. Every year, my family would get together in the uncle's house for Thanksgiving. Typically, I'd spend most of the time in the basement showing my cousins the terrible videos that I found on YouTube. It was like called One Guy, One Show. An extra brain. My brain was starting to develop into engineer you see here today. And I thought it'd be funny. That's right around. Now realizing my uncle was getting confused. Right? I said, Uncle John, that's so good. This way. I didn't know what I did wrong. I'm a dumb kid. I internalized it. They used to say this room might be the spent most of it told up talking to anyone. Over the course of the next eventually my brain developed to piece together what actually happened. I'm like, wait, he yelled at me because he's homophobic? That's right. He yelled at a child in front of everyone because he was gay people. Then last year, wait till this. So I gathered up all my money, got me sneakers, bracelets, and the tightest pants my GPS could fit. But as I'm leaving, I passed by a store with a poster outside of it that said, "Hey, here's." I'm like, "Am I willing to sell for a joke?" Yes. Yes, I. So I got my ears pierced. My last $5 bought the most effeminate pair of earrings you could find. Fast forward to Thanksgiving, and as soon as I get in my mom's car, she's like, "What?" I'm like, "What? I'm just trying to look good." She's like, "Your uncle has been flip out. Go with him." I'm like, "If he doesn't like it, that's on him. My body, my choice." I was like, "What is that?" Just drives my uncle's place. And I arrived, to be honest, it hurts. But I'd already come this far. Time for your rubber shut up. So I walk inside and be around. I'm like, "Hey, Becky, look at your hair. It looks fantastic." Oh, bangs were such a good choice. And Becky, it's your little baby cake. Eventually I came across my uncle who has no before I could even say anything, since I didn't want to smile, not any bigger. I spent the next few hours chilling with cousins, never breaking character. Eventually I called for dinner and I skipped my way over the table. While waiting for the turkey to be brought out, to be honest, I was getting a little sad. I was expecting to get a big reaction. For the most part, he ignored me. I'm like, "Damn, now I got a little time left. How am I going to get him to notice? Hey, I didn't know what to do." So as soon as my uncle begins to cut the turkey, I to him and say, "Thanks for inviting us over, Uncle John." Then I get a cheek. I mean, he flips out. All while waiting around the night, I'm just pretending to be confused. Like, what seems to be the problem, John? He's screaming. He's trying to calm him down, but he can't be contained. My mom, being the ultimate homie, says, "John, you're ready for Thanksgiving. I think you should leave." Then I turn to him and say, I'm like, "Oh, yeah. I am freaking Judy, I would not have They walked back and they all the things That's the right thing to show. People don't need to defend There's enough space. The city that's more the gravity long pressure. The beer can, a hole in the little line of coke. I'm like, Jimmy, this might be a little much, even for you. It's like, don't worry, bro. It's fine. I'm like, dude, mixing beer, weed, coke, and cigarettes seems like a bad idea. He's like, don't forget about peyote. I'm like, peyote? He's like, yeah, I put peyote in with cigarettes. You mean that makes you see spirit animals? He's like, yeah. I'm looking at it. Twisted. You would do seriously think about what you're doing for a sec. But before he could respond, people start chanting, Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy. Jimmy, with a huge smile on his face, yells, to the moon. Then he snorts the coke, takes a hit from the bowl, shotguns the beer, and starts lighting the cigarettes. He gets maybe two. He ended up dying from a drunk driver hitting him. Yeah. Anyway, the last thing you should take the video is doing reckless things for attention is a recipe for disaster. So if you're struggling with destructive tendencies, it's important to seek help. But if you're going to do it anyway, you can always have it on film. So, girls, but they really think I'm in mind. I try to focus on school, but let's keep it. It's really physics I cared about and bouncing with Stacy's Mondays. So during my senior year of high school, I was determined to get some. I didn't care what it was. First base, second base, chest bump in the dugout. Anything was better than nothing. Up the girls and water partying at combos. Every time I was about to, my brain would just turn into a popular scene at home. What are you doing, Ben? Plus, I wasn't born with their life music. Just particularly scoring at least be likely. So I knew if I wanted to shop with any number of other 5, I had to improve my tennis. So I flipped out my glasses and started looking out, worn up with my eyes straight until most communities. I refused to compromise on that. Super comfy and hot. But maybe they got no need to do it. Right, it's good for it, isn't it? It looks then better, but any place you see it looks as well to be cool. If there's something to get to, I'm never pulling a room looking at They're walking the field and they exactly walking. Plastic didn't. Right through plastic. They're going to work maybe valid, but that's painful space. Does that joke make sense? Not really, but it sounds offensive, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Anyway, the trip was 3 days, and on day 1, Kristen was sending me. I thought she was doing prior to this, I didn't. She was cute, but she's 9 or 10. She's not. Let me drive first these bathrooms. So I didn't know what she was doing. But she said, riding on the leg. My Johnson screaming. Jesus, idiot, Disney. This pirate ride is that great. God, I'm so tired. We're not going to think this way. I can imagine my trip down the next term says, hey, please ring Mary Andrews back. Like, fast forward to later that evening, back in the hotel room, so good. Smash? Yeah, no. I love Kristen as a friend, but I don't feel the same. Then my buddy Sean is like, you just be friends with them. Which at the time seemed like a great idea. Not realizing friends with benefits never works. One or both going up developing feelings, the relationship will eventually come. So the Duncan the Duncan kid, I'm like, they work. Generations of men have tried to fail, but my 17-year-old brain did it. Figured out. So the next day I meet up with Kristen and immediately felt conflicted. Because part of me was like, the other part of me, my father was alive for 17 years and I just wanted some argue at it. Events, the reviews were blowing and absolutely, I just kept changing my mind, constantly going back to words instead of looking at me. Understanding them like deepness. Now what it was, and what to Kristen, I just thought, hey, money, I need to do that. Frankly, benefit before, but you know what? Dating something about. That's when my brain activated Frankie. Instead of just asking around for this, I said, I forgot, catching a gift. Walk forward to kiss her, not leaning. Letting the step. I never kissed before. I knew what I was doing. I just started putting my tongue around. It's fine. We're even like hiccups. So after a few seconds of contact, I just good mother tapped me on the shoulder, telling me blindfold. And this happened multiple times. Each time she just looked more and more appalled. But I didn't care. I never kissed it. This thing was incredible. It's like my happiness potion turned to a new level of Super Saiyan. But how do you know there was a level beyond? Unfortunately, my dumb male brain decided to room. You see, guys are compelled to do so. We all clean dirty toilets with our feet. We all smell our meat, scratch our balls, and we all go top speed on the teacups. So once we got thinking the heck out of it, not thinking of any possible consequences. Once it was over, we all felt crazy. So luckily, everyone was able to hold it down. And so Kristen decided to paint the sidewalk with her dinner time turkey. That probably killed me, right? Oh, torn up. Right back to making out 30 minutes later. Still tastes that great. Eventually, I was able to ride her Splash Mountain. So I did fish in a river. Whatever happened with me and Kristen, well, breaking up with her sister. All breakups are tough, but it went as we had a lot less sympathy than Karens. Most of us have dealt with a Karen at one point in our lives, screaming at us, asking to speak to a manager. But what's the best way to deal with a Karen? Well, let me tell you a story on how I got involved in the binge. It happened while on a carnival cruise ship. I'm chilling in a hot tub with people splashing one another. And at first I'm sipping on the colada like, just have a fun. Then they kept splashing and I'm like, all right. So I said, children, stop. At first they did, but kids had attention. Just went back to splashing. That's when I water as I could into one of the kids' faces. Starts crying, sees the little bitch.
All I hear is her TV.
I said, anyway, he's the mom who apparently is an adult. Says, did you just hit my child? I said, no. He starts cursing me out, saying, do you know now, under most circumstances, don't try to de-escalate this situation. I'm on vacation. So I proceed to, ma'am, I was under the impression that fat people had big tits. What happened? The guy punched you with both legs. He get me thrown off his boat.
All I hear is her TV.
Fingers. Said that she didn't take it very well. He gets out of the hot tub screaming for an answer. Fortunately, I'm an expert talking staff. So a crew member comes over and says, what seems to be the problem? The wild Karen starts going on about how I hate her kid and she wants Well, staff member then asked me what happened. I said, I am very sorry I'm dealing with this today. You see, I was relaxing in the hot tub and this woman's kids kept splashing me and asked them to stop. The wild Karen says, that's not what happened. He's lying. And I said, sir, this woman is quite hysterical. I can leave if that works best for you. The Karen screams, no, I want to throw off this boat. That's when I turned to her kid and said, you got water in your eyes. He goes, yeah. I said, that's fine. I go, see, they were splashing water. Eyes. Remember that thing. So Karen started going, louder now they're smirking. Eventually more staff reported that, and I was like, that's great place. But the Karen wasn't been the person would take me out and work. But the Karen was really having David. And she was quite well. There had to be the country, we thought it would be lost, but it's Karen too much. The first time that now they're even the great overall damage. But with my friends, they're playing blackjack. That's when I can play the next one I hit my kid, telling me years. I tried to use it. And let me come back to my face. By this point, everyone in the 24 break is to stop. Okay. Before inebriated, keeps me towards me. And Karen says, "Ah, shoot." Then security grabbed her arm. I'm not gonna lie. She starts screaming, get your hands off me. It's not me, it's him. Security then escorts her out of the casino. As I'm looking at my buddy saying that she didn't think it'd be this good. The last time I bumped into Karen at Stage 4 of the cruise, it was perfect. They did an adult game show where it was guys versus girls. So I'm on stage 4 of the guys and 5 girls. We're doing silly games. I jump through hula hoop and frog. The last game was dirty. The dirty dance. So the girls go first, and here she was.
Okay, I figured it out. I turned her down. Roar. I figured it out.
What is the perfect way to get revenge? Is it putting birdseed on their car, cheesing in their shampoo bottle? How do you know the best that someone? But here's a story. You know, the perfect story begins with the call.
What?
Shelby, she was the greatest. Every day she'd shower me with the no matter how bad it's hard to practice. But my arms for daily roads. So Shelby technically wasn't my girl. She was my sister's dog. However, after the 5th month of
My grandma's mad.
For 3, my mom and I
dyed my hair.
They shoving that up beside me. There's kids.
I can't hear you. You glitchy. I'm not listening to her because I can't go back.
My mom decides to call my sister, who comes and picks up the dog.
I've done dyed my hair.
I'm freaking out. Call my sister, who was responding. Desperate, we start calling every vet in the area. And that's
why is there eyes on the world?
About my sister. Didn't want to pay for that. But she brought us this. Well, he started freedom.
Okay.
You keep the dog. My sister recommending the dog go to the he decides to give it to Pennsylvania. Karen and I refuse. leaving messages. I can't stand kids children that without the talking. For 3 years, you have a right to determine what's best for her. But just fast forward 5 years later, my sister was married. My sister me up invited. Why the hell would you invite me? Mom's like, I paid for half the wedding, so she has to invite me. I didn't want to go, but I also wasn't going to abandon my mom. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'll go. Mom's like, good. I just got to get her a gift. I'm like, she took Shelby away. I'm not getting her dick. Mom's like, if you don't get her something, I'm putting $50 in an envelope and send it from you. So I searched around my house for some crap. When I came across my old 2 boys, both were torn apart.
You're glitchy.
One little devil.
Aw, man. Tell him to wake up.
So I put it in a shoebox, wrote the name above it. Why Jewish? Because that's what I had laying around my house.